welcome to another cook along with Mrs. Silito. This is probably going to be quite a quick one today. We're going to make oaty biscuits, which I know you all enjoy in school, so I thought we'd make some. I've changed the recipe slightly, so let's get going. So we'll put the cooker on first. That's the very first job. It's on ready, heating up. And now hopefully you'll have all your ingredients weighed out ready, and we can get going. Okay, so we've got our large bowl again. We've washed our hands and everything is clean around us, and we'll get going. So we're just going to put the dry ingredients into the big bowl, but first we're going to actually melt the margarine, the milk and the syrup. Now I'm going to melt mine in the microwave, but you can do yours in a small pan on the hob with a little bit of help from an adult. Okay, so I'm just going to put I've got my margarine in a jug, and I've got my syrup here. I haven't actually measured out yet. So I've got a tablespoon. Now I've got measuring spoons, but you can just use a tablespoon. So that's the biggest spoon that you've got, not the one you eat your pudding with, but the next one up. Okay. So 1 tablespoon of syrup. That's really sticky. I just twist that quickly and that stops. Okay, so then we can use 1 of our teaspoons to help that out. Try and get as much of it as you can, otherwise it changes the recipe slightly. Okay, so now we've also got some milk. Now I'm using oat milk, because actually I'm making mine vegan, so I've got oat milk and I've got dairy-free butter. So 2 tablespoons of milk. Okay, and then we're going to melt that in the microwave. Now, depending on your microwave, or just do it in your pan until it's melted. So depending on your microwave, it depends on how long it's going to take. So I'll just do it a minute at a time. Just put a little cover over the top of it, because sometimes the fat decides to spit a little. And then we'll have a look and just see if it's melted enough or not. So while that's melting, we can just put the dry ingredients into the bowl. So that's your flour and your oats. Give them a shake in, and then your teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to give that a mix with our wooden spoon, just to make sure it's all mixed up. As I say, these are really easy to make, nice and quick, something to do for our last week homeschooling. Okay, so that's my microwave gone off. Let's have a look. Another 30 seconds and then that'll be done. So while that's doing, we can just have a little tidy up, make sure our tray is ready, lined with a little bit of paper. And all we're going to use, once we've mixed this up to the right consistency, we're literally going to use the 2 teaspoons to put them onto the tray. So it's very easy, but they are absolutely yummy. Okay, so this is very, very hot still. So we're just going to leave that to cool just for a little bit, and I'm just going to tell you about these little cookies. Now, you could put anything in there at this point. So you could put chopped up cherries, sultanas, nuts, chocolate chips, anything actually like that you could put in, and you put them in at this moment. So you put them into the flour. I've actually got a little bit of ginger, so I'm going to put a little bit of ginger in mine. See what that comes. So I've got some crystallized ginger that's in my cupboard, and we'll put a little bit of that in, not too much, just so you've really roughly got a little bit in each cookie. Okay, so we'll give that a little mix. So if you're putting anything in, put it in now and give it a little mix. That'll be covered with the flour. Anything actually that you cook, that you add into a mixture, put it in the flour. Flour coats it, and then it doesn't sink or disappear, especially if you're putting in a cake. So this is cooled down a little bit. If you're doing it in a pan, just literally just melt it, but pour it into something else so that it can cool. So this is just cooled down a little bit, and we're just going to tip that in, and then we're going to give it a stir. Really easy. Give it a stir. It's quite a wet finish, but it will be lovely, because all we're going to do now is literally spoon it onto the tray. So we'll get our tray, spoon that onto there, and leaving a little space in between. So we're going to get a teaspoonful like so, and literally just put it onto the tray. Now you use 2 spoons because it's easier to get them off. Okay, and we want to keep it into a nice shape, and we also want them to be the same size, because if they're the same size, they all cook the same. If they're too small, they'll burn. If they're too big, they'll take longer. So we must try to get them all in the same size. Okay, so this recipe probably will make about 12 biscuits. Okay, so depending on how many you want, if you wanted more, then you just need to double up the recipe. So times everything by 2, and it'll work exactly the same. Okay, oh look, I've got 13. 1 for the cook, I think. Okay, so just make sure they're all together and they're more or less the same size. That one's a bit small, that first one. Okay, so nice spread out. So on my tray I've got 13. Unlucky for some, but it's lucky for me, 13. So I've got 13, and then nicely spaced out. Okay, so there's a space around them. So we're going to put them in the oven, and they take about 10 to 12 minutes. Again, depending on your oven. So at 190 degrees, they should take about 10 minutes. Okay, and then we'll come back and we'll see how they've cooked. Okay, just come out the oven. I've just actually got my shopping in, so my glasses have gone turned into sunglasses. Okay, so here they are. Okay, this is how they've turned out. Actually, before when I made them, they were a bit flatter than that, but I think because I've put the ginger in, it's made them a bit fatter. But that's fine, I'm sure they'll taste really nice. So now you just got to really wait for them to cool and eat them. So enjoy the cook along, and hope to see everybody soon. And I'm sure I'll definitely do some more because I've enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye bye.